In the friendly suburban neighborhood of Pinewood Grove, where charming cottages with flower-filled window boxes lined winding streets and children rode bicycles until the fireflies danced in the twilight, lived an imaginative 8-year-old boy named Charlie Harper. Charlie had tousled auburn hair that fell across his forehead, bright hazel eyes sparkling with curiosity, and a kind heart that made him stand up for smaller kids on the playground. He loved reading Roald Dahl books under the old pine tree in his backyard, dreaming of brave heroes who faced impossible odds. Yet Charlie sometimes felt ordinary, not particularly strong or clever, and worried he wouldn't be able to protect those he cared about if real trouble came. Charlie's family lived in a sunny yellow house with a big porch swing. His mom grew the sweetest strawberries, his dad built tree forts, and his little sister Rosie, only 5 years old, followed him everywhere with trusting eyes. Charlie felt especially protective of Rosie and the neighborhood pets that often wandered into their yard. One crisp autumn afternoon, as red and orange leaves swirled like tiny flames and the air carried the scent of baking pies, Charlie's world grew dark with worry. While playing near the community park, he overheard a group of elegant but strangely cold women, dressed in fancy hats and gloves, whispering about a secret plan. They called themselves the Shadow Circle, and spoke of a hidden spell that would turn innocent children and their beloved pets into silent, shadowy creatures no one would notice. The women laughed cruelly, planning to strike at the big neighborhood festival in a few days. Charlie realized with horror that Rosie and many of his friends were in danger. The witches looked like ordinary kind ladies, but their eyes held no warmth. Terrified but determined, Charlie ran home. His parents listened carefully but thought it was just his vivid imagination. "We'll keep an eye out," they said gently. But Charlie couldn't shake the fear. "I have to do something," he whispered to himself that evening as shadows lengthened across the lawn. "Courage means protecting the innocent, even if I'm just a kid." He packed his blue backpack with a notebook, binoculars, some cookies for energy, a flashlight, and Rose's favorite stuffed bunny as a reminder of why he must be brave. As night fell softly, Charlie slipped out and headed toward the old oak grove at the edge of the neighborhood, the place where the women had been meeting. The grove felt eerie with whispering branches and misty ground, but he pressed on, calling quietly for any clues. After wandering nervously, he met someone who changed everything. Beneath a glowing lantern in a small clearing sat Mrs. Matilda, a retired librarian with silver hair pinned neatly, sharp but kind eyes behind half-moon glasses, and a gentle voice full of wisdom. She was known for telling thrilling stories at the library and had lived in Pinewood Grove for decades. "You look like a young hero on a dangerous mission, Charlie," she said warmly, noticing his worried face. Charlie told her the whole story in a rush, expecting disbelief. Instead, Mrs. Matilda nodded gravely. "There are shadows in every world, dear one. But real courage lights them up. Would you like a wise companion? Together we can protect the innocent." Together they ventured deeper. Soon they met Lila, a shy 7-year-old girl with dark curls who had seen the women too but felt too scared to speak up. "I'm too timid to help anyone," she admitted. Then came Theo, a clever boy with glasses who loved science but doubted his ideas could stop real danger. "My brains aren't strong enough against magic," he said. Finally, they found Max, an energetic dog with one floppy ear who had been following the women's scent but was now lost and frightened. "I want to protect my boy, but I'm just a dog," Max seemed to say with his sad eyes. The group, guided by Mrs. Matilda, decided to find the Shadow Circle's hidden meeting spot before the festival and expose their plan. They believed courage, cleverness, and kindness together could save everyone. Their quest tested them greatly. They sneaked through misty paths where strange glowing runes appeared on trees. Theo's quick thinking with his notebook decoded them as warnings. When shadowy illusions tried to scare them away, Lila's kindness calmed the group by sharing stories of bravery from books. Max's keen nose led them through tricky underbrush. Charlie went first through scary dark patches, his small voice encouraging everyone even when his own knees shook. There were heartbreaking moments of doubt. Once, after narrowly escaping a trap of whispering vines, Charlie sat on a fallen log as moonlight filtered through the branches. Tears streamed down his face. "I'm just a kid. What if I can't protect Rosie and the others? What if my courage isn't enough?" Mrs. Matilda sat beside him, wrapping a warm shawl around his shoulders. She shared her own story of standing up to bullies as a young girl long ago. "Courage isn't being unafraid," she said softly. "It's acting to protect the innocent even when fear whispers loudly. Your heart is already strong enough." The friends supported each other with hugs, shared cookies, and reminders of why they fought, for Rose's laughter, for neighborhood pets, for all the innocent ones. Lila grew bolder, Theo's inventions, like a simple noisemaker from pine cones, helped distract shadows, and Max bravely stood guard. As the festival day dawned with golden light breaking through the trees, they reached the hidden glade where the shadow circle gathered in their fancy disguises. The women were preparing their spell with strange glowing powders. Charlie's heart pounded, but he remembered the innocent faces at home. With a deep breath, he stepped forward courageously. "Stop," he called, his voice ringing clear. "You won't hurt my friends or any children here." Chaos erupted as the women turned, but Mrs. Matilda revealed an old enchanted mirror from library lore that reflected their true cold hearts. Theo's clever distraction, Lila's kind words that broke the spell's hold, and Max's loyal barking exposed them. The witches weren't real magic but mean-hearted people who used tricks and fear. Charlie's brave stand, protecting the innocent, made the group scatter in shame. The powders fizzled harmlessly, and the threat vanished. The journey home was filled with relief and joy. Mrs. Matilda walked proudly beside them. When they reached the yellow house, Charlie's parents and Rosie rushed out. The whole neighborhood soon learned of the children's courage at the festival. That evening, families gathered for a celebration dinner, inviting all the new friends. Charlie told the full story, including the scary doubts. His dad knelt down, eyes shining with pride. "You protected the innocent today, son. That's true bravery." His mom hugged him tight, and Rosie climbed into his lap, safe and smiling. From that day, Charlie changed. He still felt ordinary sometimes, but he knew courage protects the innocent and lives in every kind heart. He visited Mrs. Matilda often, reading stories and planning community watches. Lila, Theo, and Max became his closest friends. Together they started the Brave Guardians Club, teaching neighborhood kids to speak up against bullies, protect pets and smaller children, and stand together with courage and kindness. One beautiful spring afternoon, as flowers bloomed vibrantly and birds sang in the pine trees, Charlie sat in the backyard with Rosie playing safely nearby. Mrs. Matilda joined them with fresh strawberry lemonade. Lila, Theo, and Max lounged happily in the grass. Warm sunlight filtered through new green leaves. "I thought facing the shadow witches was the scariest thing," Charlie said softly, watching Rosie laugh. "But it taught me that courage protects the innocent, and that even an ordinary kid like me can make a big difference." Mrs. Matilda smiled with shining eyes. "And that, dear Charlie, is the most powerful magic of all." Charlie looked at his friends and family, feeling a deep warmth and strength in his chest. The boy who once doubted himself had become a true protector, brave, kind, and confident. He belonged right here, with his loving family, wise mentor, and loyal friends by his side. From that season on, children throughout Pinewood Grove shared the story of Charlie and the Shadow Witches. Whenever they saw someone being picked on, a pet in danger, or injustice threatening the innocent, they remembered Charlie's courageous stand. They learned that courage isn't about being the biggest or strongest, it's about stepping forward to protect others when it matters most. Charlie gently pushed Rosie on the swing, watching her joyful giggles. He smiled up at the bright blue sky, heart full of gratitude and hope. The frightening adventure had taught him the most important truth: courage protects the innocent and makes the world brighter for everyone. And that truth made every day safer, every friendship stronger, and every ordinary neighborhood feel like a place worth defending.